I just been really listening to gospel music, honestly. I tap into to old school here and there, but just really been listening to gospel. Really any time of the day.
Yeah.
Well, gospel playlist can get me from here to fucking from Florida.
I mean, I don't know. It's like I haven't been listening to music as much as I usually do, especially like this past weekend or so. Maybe that's probably why I'm in such a mood. But I don't know. My good people. Nah, it's fine. I ain't gonna take your intro. But what's going on, y'all? This is another episode of Thru Thick N Thin. He's
I'm thick.
and I'm thin. He's
D.
and I'll be.
I'm fucking stupid and heartbroken.
It's alright. We're gonna take care of that. We're gonna get through this. We might touch on it. You never know how this conversation may go, but or we can start right now. I mean, how's life treating you right now?
Right at this very moment, life is hard. I'm not gonna lie. You know, I'm going through some personal things. I'm not gonna put my business out on the internet, but I am. Oh, that was nasty. I am going through some personal things that has kind of brought me down, honestly. So, I mean, yeah, I say that to say, you know, life goes on. You know, some things is just out of your control. And, you know, God's put the strongest people in the most terrible situations, and he has a reason why he does it. He has a reason why he does it. You know, a lot of things and everything that goes on in life, in my life, his life, and in everybody's life, especially if you're a firm believer. So one thing I will say, just keep putting one foot in front of the other and just, you know, leave the problems to him and not worry about them. And that's something that I'm going to take my own advice and start doing, you know, and just continue on with life. You know, school's been good. My grades looking pretty good. It was looking a little sluggish. I think the last time we recorded an episode, but I had to drop a class. But other than that, I've just been really cool and finding individual happiness, which is something that is very important. If you're single or in a relationship or friendship, no matter, individual happiness and finding yourself and not losing yourself and things like that is very important. So I'm refinding that, getting closer to God, close to God. I feel like I kind of slacked a little bit, so I'm doing that, and so he can be able to take control of my life, so I don't have these worries and these doubts anymore. And yeah, man, that's really just been really going on with me. Not too much has really changed since the last episode, besides some, like I said, personal things that I'm not really going to speak too much on. But yeah, man, you know, tap in with us, you know. We up on the up and coming, you know. But yeah, that's pretty much what's been going on with my life. How about you?
Sort of the same thing.
Pause. This nigga, I don't know if he died one day and he woke up, like, that nigga, I think he became Jesus for a minute, because the nigga died, and then like 3 days later he rose, like, nigga walked in the house and nigga was just washing clothes, so I don't know where he been. He ain't answering my fucking knocks on the door, so.
Listen, and that's exactly what I'm about to talk about. I mean, I don't know, I guess you could say over the course of the semester, but I guess more so recently. I don't know what it is, man. I just really been in a little slump. I still don't really know. I don't have a full answer yet. I'm still trying to learn, and I think that's probably also what's kind of like hindering me, just trying to have all the answers right now, even though realistically speaking, I'm probably just not going to have them right at this moment, but maybe later down the line I will. But yeah, man, this is just personal life along with school. I'm not gonna lie, like I haven't been as locked in as I could or should be, you know, academic wise. It's just, I don't know, some ain't really aligning up here. You know, kind of suffer from, you know, lack of motivation and I was talking to my roommate earlier today, just kind of felt like everything just feels a little blurry. It's like a simulation of some sort. It feels like every day is very repetitive, and I can't really get out of the order. I can't really, I don't know. It's a lot. I wish I could describe it a little better, but kind of like what you said, man, I'm just trying to do what I can as far as continuing to push through, taking one step forward, put one foot in front of the other, and, at least do what I can. Just really for myself, I'm not gonna lie, I have been in a very deep isolation period. I have. I'm not. And what he was referring to was, this past weekend, nothing, wasn't even anything intentional. It's just I kind of just grown into I don't know. It's like I wasn't feeling any type of social interaction this past weekend. I mean, we did go to a party, which was cool.
Shout out James. Shout out the Alphas.
Yes,
shout out James, Tyler, Josh, Kobe. Shout out y'all, Chris. Shout out y'all for putting on a good event.
Yes, sir.
Yeah,
And that was the first, our first event that we went to in a minute since homecoming. At least for me. I don't know about you.
Yeah.
Yeah, homecoming.
Yeah.
So been about a month, some change, about a month and a half, then 2 months. But it felt cool. It felt good to be out and being amongst everybody, and the vibes were good. But after that, I don't know. I just didn't really want to be around anybody. Again, it wasn't nothing towards anybody in particular. It was just like one of them days, one of them moods. Just kind of like isolate yourself from everybody. But again, I feel like that was kind of the main theme, at least throughout the semester. It hasn't gotten to like this. It hasn't gotten this deep over the course of the semester, but I mean, this is kind of just what I've been feeling throughout the course of time. But I honestly do anticipate things shall be better. I'm very optimistic. I've always been an optimistic person, so I know everything happened for a reason. I just got to continue to really learn myself and really try to figure out a way to where I can at least start, digging myself out of this little hole, I guess. So, good days are ahead for the both of us. I'm more than confident about that. So,
yeah, a little disclaimer back to the little alpha thing. Shout out to all the alphas that I know out there. Happy Founders Day to y'all. If y'all, well, we probably won't drop this episode on y'all exact Founders Day, but y'all Founders Day is December 4th. So shout out, happy Founders Day to y'all. But yeah, like I was saying, man, just to touch on, to get to dissect it into the episode, whatever, about isolation and stuff like that, this mental part of our lives is very important, especially for people that look like us. It's a lot of times we don't speak on what we got going on here because we are seen as weak and things like that, and then some of these, I would say most of these girls that we mess with and stuff like that, that's what they want us to do. They want a guy to express how they feel right in that moment or what they want in that moment and stuff like that. So I feel like that's we have to figure out a way, especially for to start being able to do that. And like I said, and I say this, and I mean this respectfully, cancel me if you want to, but some of y'all girls out there gotta stop saying y'all want one thing, but then when that one thing comes, it's totally different. Like y'all expecting for a dude to speak out on what he's feeling inside of his head and stuff like that. But when he do it, y'all talk shit or y'all talk bad about him. That only makes it, you know what I mean, make a dude not want to ever do it again. So that's some shit that y'all gotta cut out. But as far as young men goes that look like us, especially in college, because this shit get hard. And when you away from your family, especially if you that first year, this shit get, you probably, if you one of those that got separation anxiety that miss your family, well, you probably going through it right now. But like, you know what I mean? Like I say, you gotta put one foot in front of the other and keep pushing and know that you're here for a reason and not a season.
Yeah.
So, and that goes with, you know what I mean, anything in life, like, especially mental and trauma, all that stuff, that you battling and shit like that shit was born to happen, if you're a firm believer in God, then he got your life planned out before you just don't know it. So he already know where your endpoint at. You already know what you're destined to be and what your destiny is, and that's what it is, and this is what it's gonna be. But if this episode is a little more serious, then we don't apologize in advance.
Nah.
We need an episode like this to be vulnerable as young men and things like that, to show our people or the people who watching that we have multiple sides to our personality, and we are able to have these tough conversations that not a lot of people our age are willing to have and own up to.
Especially black men.
Yeah, so.
But I mean, I definitely agree with what you're saying too. Like everything you said, I 100% agree with. Because I'm sure, I mean, it's early December right now, meaning, that wave of seasonal depression is either hitting or it has already hit. Especially people our age, in college and stuff like that, we balancing school and work and personal lives and all that stuff, and relationships, all that. So, also to really piggyback off of what you said, it's really important for all of us to really be there for one another and create a safe environment for us, and for us to be vulnerable and really say what we gotta say, and when we do that, it also allows us to create a safe environment for you as well.
Yeah, I think the biggest thing for us as men, as young black men, especially the ones in college, but period, is tapping in with our mental and becoming more vulnerable with our feelings. And that's with anything. And I know a lot of times that can come from trauma. Trauma is a big thing that, I hope I'm in the camera. Trauma is a big thing that everybody goes through, regardless if it's relationship trauma, family trauma, friendship trauma. You broke your arm. It doesn't matter. Everybody goes through trauma. So one of our first questions is, what trauma have you suffered from? I guess I'll start. I think the first trauma that I really suffered from, not to get all sad, but was the passing of my mom. She passed when I was 6 years old. God, this is not good enough. Oh, wow. Damn. God bless her soul. But I think that's the first really traumatic thing that I can remember that has happened in my life, and it affected me bad. It really didn't hit me until I probably got in like elementary, up in like 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th grade, in that area, and it hit me bad. Boy, I was getting in trouble in school, and I went to ISS and grades tanked. And I think that was like one of the first times I got a D on a report card or a midterm. Like all throughout school, I was an honor roll student besides that one time. And I got my ass tore up, never forget. But that was one of the times, I think that was one of the first traumatic trauma. And I think as time went on, really just talking about it and knowing, I think one thing that helped me is once I got to that age of understanding and knowing that I have to have a relationship with God, my own relationship with Him is kind of what got me through that. Because truth be told, before, it was some, after that happened, my dad got back into the dating world or whatever, and I ain't like none of the girls. And the ladies that he brought home were besides maybe one. But even that one that started off a little rocky to where I used to tell you ain't my mama. But I mean, those are just things that you go through as a young boy. Like I said, I was 6 years old, so I really didn't know what was going on here. I remember the day, but moving forward, I just kind of like, God began my own relationship with God, and things just start to get a little easier. And then as time moves on, it really don't hit me as much when her birthday come up or when her death day come up. It's just kind of like, you know what I mean? I don't want to say it's another day because I do celebrate it, but it doesn't take a toll on me. So I just kind of keep pushing forward, knowing that like any and everything that I do is I'm doing it. You know what I mean? She's looking down upon me, so I got to keep going. So that was one of the first things that really hit me traumatic-wise, and I'll let him see if he got some personal stuff, and then we're going to try to dive into some relationship or friendship trauma.
I'm trying to think as far as I haven't experienced any like major deaths in the family, so okay, I would say traumatic experience, or maybe like one of the first, at least that I can remember, was probably the time when my parents got divorced. I was pretty rough. I was probably about like 8, 9 years old, so a little older, but I mean, I'm still a kid. And with being a kid, but also being the youngest, because I am the youngest in my family, I could tell that a lot was hidden from me. I mean, of course, with good reason, because what kid needs to know about like all the things that happen behind closed doors? To this day, I probably don't know everything still, which is completely fine. I feel like ignorance is bliss, but for real.
I was singing J. Cole.
But I know there were some things that I was exposed to, probably that I wasn't supposed to. It was a brief, well, not a brief. It was a period. The build up to it. I mean, just the argument, or like I could sense the tension from one another. I could sense the distance. People being distant. It was a rough time for the family. At that time, we're all, we're very tight. We all love each other very dearly. Like, we're very, very strong connection. So, looking at it now, like moments like those kind of allowed us to grow stronger and love one another a lot more. But it was very confusing. It was very scary at times, just because never really seen people in my family, especially like, let alone my parents, behave in such a manner at times, But yeah, I guess that would be what I would consider a traumatic experience, at least mine. But if we talk about friendships and relationships.
Oh, I was about to say something before we dive into that. I will say that my mom's definitely helped me learn how to deal with other deaths that I've had in my family. As far as those girls, I just like with this whole episode, really, I would just make sure you're just checking up on your people. It don't gotta be a death in the family. It ain't gotta be. It could just be just because you never know. I kind of make sure. A handful of my friends can tell you that I try to make sure that I do a check-in out the blue. You know what I mean? Because you never know what somebody is going through, and you never know if you're that person that can help them get through that. Besides God, if they believe in God, but you never know. Ain't nothing. Sometimes ain't nothing wrong with you only got two shoulders, but ain't nothing wrong with giving one away for a good amount of time. pretty sure a lot of people can tell you, oh, that's around me, that I might play a lot and I might shit talk a lot and I might be an asshole, but when I care about your motherfucking ass, I care. So make sure your people is good. You know, and now getting into that relationship and friendship trauma, that's a different area, boy. That's a different area. But all this stuff can really fuck up your mental. It can really fuck up your mental. So to really just check on your people. But I'll let him start off with his relationship and friendship trauma. I'm gonna say something. I don't want to say too much, but go ahead.
I don't know. I don't know if I have any like traumatic experiences as far as like friendships go. I will say a pattern that I often experience, whether it's friends or a relationship or just anything in general. It definitely rubs me the wrong way when I often get bailed on, or like when people flake on me or bail on me. Nowadays it really don't sit right with me, and that's not me trying to like be selfish or anything, because of course, like if you have something like a pre-engagement or something came up, by all means do what you gotta do. But I'm talking about when it's like, I ask you, like, just trying to confirm something or plans or, things like that. You say yeah, and then it's almost like a damn near no show, or like very, very, very last minute, as far as like I'm waiting on you type, and like I said, it can be with friends, or it can also be like on a little more intimate level. I've actually had this happen more so on an intimate level rather than friends. Because I feel like with it being friends, 9 times out of 10 you don't really worry about it as much, because 9 times out of 10 y'all be around each other a lot. So, but when it comes to like somebody that you like, you got feelings for, and stuff like that, kind of hit a little different.
It hit way different.
It really do. And like I said, it's been a pattern, like, it's been repetitive, so my patience is starting to wear very thin. And it's just like, I don't know, man. It's like, damn, I don't know if you fully consider like what I go through to like make sure like things go well, and then it's like, well, I get so excited and then damn, you're gonna hate me, but
yeah,
you're probably right.
Those moments are the worst. Like just getting that text message or getting that call, or even finding out. I think the worst feeling of them all is finding out from somebody else.
Yeah.
And because that's like, it's kind of playing a dangerous game, because you never know if that person that's telling you just making up something, or if they actually telling they telling the truth. And I'm speaking from experience. You just never know. It's a dangerous game, and like he said, that I think that getting told that is the worst. I think, at least from what I can remember, I haven't really had any traumatic relationship or friendship type of things until like now. And really not going to go into detail because it's kind of fresh, but I will say that I have seen something like this has happened to me before, and the way that I found out was through social media, and just shit like that just kind of get, I think the worst part is somebody telling you something but doing the opposite. Because one thing that I will say that I kind of take a good amount of pride in is if I say something, then I'm going to do it. So if I say I'm going to do something, then I'm going to do it. And sometimes I do come up short, but I'm not a perfect person. I'm not a perfect person, so I do come up short. But I do take pride in, like, if I say I'm gonna do it, then I'm gonna do it. That's another thing that I feel like people around me can tell you that I do. But I personally feel like if you that person going through relationship and friendship trauma, don't let that define who you want. Don't let that define who you are as a person, because it's not gonna do nothing but make you even stronger, even in a better person. Like, I think right now with what my situation is, one thing that I am wanting to do is not try to scoop lower to make that person, the opposing person, feel my pain. Because at the end of the day, you doing that, you're only going to hurt yourself more, because that person is never going to feel your pain, because that's the person that caused the pain. So I think that's step one. Don't do that. I think, and that goes along with just I can say this. My friend just texted me and said, don't do nothing stupid either. That's another thing that ties in. Just don't, just don't do nothing. Acknowledge that it happened to you, and, accept it so that you can move on from it. I think the biggest thing with trauma, and no matter what trauma it is, that it's accepting it and knowing that it happened to you, and that it doesn't define, it doesn't define. This is just a moment in life where things can get ugly. There's plenty more days ahead that you will see the light, and then everything. You'll forget about that moment like that even happened. And don't let the trauma you gain from somebody else make you have a different, or hold you back from really, how can I put this?
It's like having their weight or their baggage kind of like affect you.
Yeah, don't take the trauma that you have from somebody else and put it on the next person you mix with in a relationship. Because you never know if you're missing out on something that could have benefited your life in the long run, because you want to carry the baggage. And one thing is, it's not good to carry. I think we all, at a point where we can understand that it's not good to carry no type of baggage over to another relationship. Because in my opinion, all that does is your relationship will start to split. So now y'all becoming separate, because the opposing party feel like that, well, shit, only thing that she think of me is that I'm gonna repeat this, I'm gonna repeat that. So you just kind of split away, and splitting away and trying to fight that is a motherfucker. I'm not gonna lie, but don't let what one person did to you define the next person, because they two different people. Even if they share similarities, they still do two different people. You may not know the reason why they do the things the way they do. So those are, was that three? Was that three? It's either 2 or 3. Those are my 3 tips to really going into how to deal with trauma. And everybody's recovery process and healing process is different. Don't find your healing process in another nigga, or don't find your security blanket and going to
somebody else.
Yeah, spin in somebody else's face, because 9 times out of 10 they're gonna dog walk you, and then you're gonna be even more hurt.
I'm about to say, yeah, because a lot of people try to treat that as a healing process, but 9 times out of 10, whether you want to admit it or not, it's more so a distraction. It's not a healing, it's not a process, it's not a method, it's a distraction. And if you're distracted, you're just blinded by the fact, or you're not focused on the fact that, that shit's bothering you. And, you can keep yourself busy by doing that, but once, you're not in somebody else's face, when you're not distracted, that shit will come back, and that shit will stay in your head until you find a proper way to, heal and move on. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, yeah, doing some genuine, pure healing the way that you feel as though works best for you is really key. So
And one thing I will say too is, like when going through that healing journey or whatever, self-reflection is a big help. More so to where it's like realize like what you could have done better, so you don't make that same mistake again. So maybe, because you never know if, what I mean, not saying that, some trauma. I got a hole. Oh shit! I don't know if y'all can see that. Oh well. But the person that did what they did to you more than likely always have. God damn, I sound like Courtney. I'm sorry. That's not funny, but shit, that was hard.
It's okay.
Very. Oh my God.
It's alright, God. Keep it pushing.
That was
One
hard.
foot in front of the other.
I just caught myself so bad. They always will have 9 times out of 10 they have a reason why, or there's a reason why they did what they did to you. It may not be, it may not be a valid reason or anything like that, but there's always a reason. But you never know if that reason could be something that you did. So I think self-reflection in your healing and recovery journey is very, very important. Like I said at the beginning of the episode, as I'm trying to regain my individual happiness and tapping back into myself as I'm going on a journey of my own, I think that's very, very important as well. So never, I think one thing, if you can try, never lose your individual happiness. Like, you know what I mean? Like, no matter if you're in a relationship or a friendship or anything like that, anything in life, you should be able to do, at the end of the day, you have to do what makes you happy. And if somebody comes in and stops you from doing that, they might not need to be in your life, because if you can't find no avenue of happiness, then you just sit there depressed. And I can't speak from experience about depression, but I can say that I know from, people that have leaned on my shoulder that have been depressed, like that shit ain't nothing to play with, and that it gets scary. So always push and try to find that individual happiness, because that's really important.
Because at the end of the day, it's your life. It ain't theirs. Putting other people's happiness or having other people's happiness into consideration, that's very sweet of you, but at the same time, what about you? What about the star player? What about the person that you're looking at in the mirror every morning, every night? Like, your own individual happiness, honestly, is just as important, if not more important, than anybody else's.
Yeah, cause
it starts with yourself.
Yeah, because nobody can live your life but you.
For real.
Nobody can live your life but you. At the end of the day, when you die by yourself. So nobody can really control your life. Nobody can live your life but you.
Yeah.
Now, there may be people that come in and out of it that try to control it, but that is for you to put your foot down and be like, you had your chance to do what you wanted to do. Like, this is my life, and I gotta live through it. So I just think, trauma is it's hard, and like I said, it weighs on people's mental. I think we already touched. At least I gave my opinion on how I personally would properly get through trauma. I don't know if Braylon has some tips for y'all.
Me, I could. So, because I know we have similarities, but we also have differences. I know you are a bit more on the extroverted side, where I'm on, the introverted side. So, whether I am depressed or dealing with trauma, or if I want to heal from it, one of my go-to things to do is I need space. I need time alone. I need time to myself. Sometimes I need time to myself to, immerse myself emotions, and I don't even say that in a negative way or like a depressing way. Sometimes you have to like, really take time to really understand what is happening, to really process what's going on and what you're feeling. And, whether you're an emotional person, whether you're not an emotional person, it's one of those things where you can't really skip that step. Otherwise, you're going to end up trying to find ways to distract yourself in order to really deal with it head on, So there have been times, I'll be completely honest, there have been times where I've been in my room and, I want to do something like I'll punch a pillow or shit. Yeah.
I wanted to punch him today.
Yeah, and obviously you see, ain't no bruises on my goddamn face, alright? Better. Nah, but there have been times where, you get so angry where you really want to punch some shit. You really just want to fight. You want to do something to like just get this rage out of you. And there's been times where I've been so sad where I'll shed a few tears. For real, behind closed doors. Like, I ain't gonna lie, probably this semester I'm probably like really boo-hoo type shit, like sob, maybe like twice.
Yeah, I mean, like, that's another thing. I'm glad that you said that, because that's a big sign of being vulnerable, because you tell somebody that you cried and somebody tell you, well, you a man, you can't cry, that's a girl's cry or something like that. And that's another thing that we have grown up on. Not me personally, because I will say I've never seen my dad. I've really just started to see my dad cry. Like growing up, I've never seen my dad cry. Even at my when his dad, my grandpa died, I didn't see him cry.
Yeah.
Him or my grandma. But I will say that he ain't teach me that it's not okay to cry. And I feel like, me with crying, I think crying shows that you're a human, and it shows that you are a strong individual, that you know that you letting it be known that you have feelings. Because, truth be told, not a lot of these girls, if you don't show some type of emotion, then you get called nonchalant. And not a lot of these girls like a nonchalant nigga. So some type of emotion and crying, I'm pro crying. Or I ain't saying sitting here and like
be a crybaby.
Yeah, be a crybaby and cry over some dumb shit. But if in certain situations and certain moments you gotta even if you think you hard body, call it a thug tear or something like that. But nigga, you still cry. It don't it don't make you no girl. It don't diminish you as a man or a boy or anything like that. Because at the end of the day, crying is just an emotion, and it's a feeling that everybody has. So
yeah, and I'm actually really glad that you said it, especially when it comes to us men, shit, us black men as well, because honestly, not even trying to like toot my own horn or nothing, I promise you, but there have been plenty of times where guys be like, how do women gravitate towards you so naturally, or how do you like gain these type of connections with them? And I tell them, you gotta open up, gotta be vulnerable, you gotta be willing to, show that, like you said, that you're human. Because the nonchalant robot ass niggas, women can't connect on that. Women tend, people say, women tend to be connected to their emotional side. They are very emotional human beings. So if you're not emotional, or if you can't open up your emotions to them, how can they connect with you, especially when that's first nature to them? You gotta be willing to communicate in their style in order to like really have that connection with them. And I'm not even saying that to like take advantage of them. I'm talking about real, genuine connection. Like especially, there have been times where
I'm so hungry. I'm sorry.
No, it's okay. I am too. I promise. Yeah, I promise you.
Disclaimer: he ate my dinner, but
yeah, and I told him I'll pay him back.
We're not gonna speak on that. But yeah, I'm sorry.
That's okay. But I know there have been times where us guys, we be like, man, we feel something, but we don't know what it is. We don't know how to explain it. And, you know, there'll be times where we confide in one another, be like, what is this feeling? And maybe even we respond like, I know what you're feeling, but I don't know.
Yeah.
That's why women is so
beneficial.
They're so helpful to like help you really figure out what it is that you're feeling, because like I said, they know about that. They're more knowledgeable about that. So it's like, basically, brothers, y'all gotta open up, man.
Yeah.
Quit putting up, a shield. And some of y'all women too. I know from past trauma, from niggas doing this, niggas doing that, and stuff like that. I understand that y'all got a hell of a defense on you. A shield that most goddamn vibranium can't even break. I'm pretty sure I ain't gonna get that reference. I'm such a Marvel geek, but but y'all gotta.
I definitely didn't.
Yeah, it's alright though. But basically, what I'm saying is, sometimes y'all gotta really hold yourself accountable. Really, y'all gotta bring those shields, that armor down, and really be vulnerable. It's okay to be vulnerable.
Definitely gotta let your guard down.
You have to sometimes. Even if you don't want to, you have to. Yes, there will be times where you feel like if you bring it down, you probably gonna get disappointed. And sometimes that will happen, but that's life. You can't shy away from that.
Because you never know if you're missing out on something that could benefit you.
You never know. Especially if it don't work out the way it's not supposed to. Don't look at it as a regret. Look at it as a lesson. Learn from it and apply it to the future. That's it.
Pushing.
Y'all really want to know the key to life? That. Quit looking at shit as regrets or mistakes, and that's how y'all really start to.
Cause you don't want to live. You don't want to live with no regrets.
Yeah.
You definitely don't want to live with no regrets.
And that's how that's one way people get depressed. That's one way people build traumatic experiences.
Yeah.
You gotta let that shit do what it do, and learn from it.
Definitely.
Learn from it.
Life is full of lessons.
Yeah.
And when it comes to people, just see it as either they in your life for a reason, or B, they in your life for a season.
Come on now.
And either way, you just gotta be you gotta be comfortable with that. But I was you just said something. Speaking on the guard up, that I think that applies to not just males with us being vulnerable like that, but I think I feel like as what young ladies or women can do to help men and young men is to create a safe space for them to be able to be vulnerable to them. It's like you want this guy to be this certain way, but you don't give him the platform to, you can simply be like if, I don't care how you say it, and sometimes we just don't know how to explain stuff, and I think that goes for in both ways, but whoever it may be talking to, even if you don't know how to explain it, just, you can just spit out what you're thinking in your head, then we can just make it make sense later on, but, it's better I feel like it's better out than in. Sometimes it is better in than out, don't get me wrong, because you don't want to say nothing stupid, you don't want to do nothing stupid. But, so it can go both ways, but just creating that safe space for, welcome them in, knowing that their feelings are valid, just as y'all expect us to validate y'all feelings. I think men and young men want the same thing, just validate our feelings so that I can know that no matter what it is, even if it's this little smallest, smallest things, if something that you do bothers me or something bothers me, period, that I can come to you and that you
know that you're hurt.
Yeah, and sometimes sometimes you may come short of that, because I've definitely, I would say I've definitely come short of that a couple of times, and that's something that I'm also working on too. But you know, that's going to happen because not always are y'all going to be on the same page with the way y'all think either. So that's going to happen. But creating that platform and that safe space and welcoming them in to know that you are validating their feelings is another thing. And yes, like we said before, that you got to take that guard down sometimes because everybody is not the same. Everybody doesn't have the same intentions that I don't have the same intentions that he has when it goes to like or any aspect of life. You're never gonna have the same intentions. Nobody really has ever the same intentions. They may have some similarities, but you never know what you know what I mean, how your life can change, or even if it don't change, even if it get a little ugly, that's just that moment in time, and don't let that moment, like I said before, don't let that moment define the rest of your life, because it's not going to. Like I went to, I'm gonna get this out of my head because I was gonna say it at the end of the episode, but it's just keep clicking in my head. I went to New Beginnings Fellowship Church on the east side of Indianapolis. I think Pastor Dr. James A. Jackson. He said, "Don't let your history define your destiny." And what I took from it is like wherever you came from, or whatever happened to you for you to get to this point before that made history, doesn't define what the end result is. And trauma, a lot of people couldn't define, say trauma is the end all be all, and it's really not. That's just a moment in time, and that's just some history that happened to you, but it doesn't define where you're going and where you would end up. So I say that because that's just been on my head, and I feel like it fits pretty well of what we talking about. So just remember that. Don't let your history define your destiny or be your destiny. He said something. I don't know word for word, but he said something like that, and it's been sticking. It's been sticking with me. So
no, I definitely agree. Cause like, when you think about somebody building a wall, trying to protect themselves.
Yeah.
You're protecting yourself from your history, or you're blocking yourself from your history, but you're also blocking yourself from your end goal. When you're blocking yourself from your problems, you're also blocking yourself from your solutions. So it's like, you can't do that, man. You're gonna have to face that shit head on. Sorry, that's I cussed while he was just talking about it.
It's all good.
But for real though, like, there are times where you really just gotta fight your battles, man. You can't run away from, like you said, don't let that stuff define who you are, because that was then, this is now. Whole new person. You can wake up tomorrow and feel like a brand new person. Who knows? But
yeah, real shit. Real stuff. I'm just trying so hard to stop cussing, to limit my cussing.
no, it's okay. I need to put a limit on mine too.
But that's some real stuff. Like, I don't even know how long we've been recording, but I know we've been talking for a minute. So, but to pretty much wrap up the episode, because it's getting late as shit. Yeah, man, just our advice is not gonna work for everybody. We just saying what has helped us, and maybe it may help and touch somebody out there. But yeah, like, just keep pushing. Like I said in the beginning, keep putting one foot forward and one foot in front of the other. And if you're a firm believer in God, just cast your cares on Him, for He cares for you. And that's what you gotta do. You gotta put it in His hands and trust that He's gonna make a way. Like, He's gonna take you out of this pit. Like, if He's the one that put you in, I promise you, He's gonna take you out. So just keep trusting and believing Him.
Yeah, I'd say if y'all made it this far, definitely take this as a sign to either get close with God, or B, at least do a bit more praying, just, have a bit more faith on Him and, what His plan is for you, because obviously you're not going through this or what you've been through for no odd reason. Everything happens for a reason. His way isn't always going to be your way, so, things, of course, is going to be confusing at times. But you just gotta trust, obey, and abide by Him. So,
Yeah. So,
but yeah, and if you guys are experiencing trauma or going through a traumatic experience, or maybe a past traumatic experience is kind of like still lingering, in your head, or still like present in your life, just know you got this. You shall overcome. Better days, yes, indeed. And better days are ahead. Believe that. Believe that.
And start speaking that to yourself, so that you can start believing that. You have to start. It starts with you. At the end of the day, it starts with you and it ends with you.
Start with that man in the mirror.
Yeah, know that God will always be. If nobody else is with you, that man is always with you. No,
yeah,
almost said.
You almost said it. Yeah. I know it.
But that man, he is with you. I'm still being delivered, so he understands. But he is still with you. So, and another most important thing is just find those people that that you trust and that you feel like really care about you, to where they can be, that you feel like you can lean on their shoulders. Now, I think that's very important too. I will say that I do have a pretty solid, my family, that's kind of inevitable, but I do have a pretty solid friend group, to where it's like, if anything, or if I need any help, I can definitely call on them, and they all know they can call on me. And most of them, not most of them, all them niggas call on me. So I just, find that friend group. If you don't have it, that's okay. But find that person. It may be one person, it may be two people. But just find it, so that y'all can build, that makes y'all friendship stronger. But they can also build you up as well. So definitely do that. This has been a serious as pretty much episode. If my energy is a little off, I apologize in advance. But as promised, as always, we always gonna give y'all an unpopular opinion of the episode. Do you have one?
What is an unpopular opinion that I got? Do you have one?
Yep, I got two of them.
Go ahead.
I think noodles belong. I think you should put noodles on 6 minutes, not 3. Call me nasty. Call me like your noodles slimy or whatever.
Put mine on 5.
So I put mine on 6. And then my other one, let's no longer say at our old age, especially people that's my age, 20, let's stop calling shit sleepover. We not sleeping over, we not bringing sleeping bags, none of that. Just say you going to stay the night. And if you watching this, y'all know exactly who I'm talking. I'm not gonna say no names, but give that junk up. We not sleeping over nowhere. We don't have no sleeping bags, no Spider-Man's covers, no none of that. We just going to stay the night at somebody else. So those are my 2 for the episode.
I'm solid.
And hot sauce belong in the cabin, not the refrigerator.
I honestly also agree with that. Trying to think. Freak. Fudge. See, I'm practicing.
That was forced to say.
It was.
It definitely was.
Sorry, I'm still practicing though.
You're still being delivered.
Sugar can go in grits. I don't know, I guess that's some popular opinion. Sugar can go in grits.
I personally don't eat grits, but I definitely didn't seem to go back and forth whether it's sugar or salt and pepper and butter or whatever. But I think even when you do sugar, you still do butter. Yeah.
For sure.
See, I'm a
butter gonna go in there regardless.
Yeah, I'm an oatmeal type of guy, so oatmeal, cream of wheat, I'm that type of guy. So
Yeah.
grits, I ain't never. I'm nothing.
Yeah, I grew up on grits a little bit more than oatmeal. I mean, I had oatmeal at times, but yeah, grits was
Can't
always
never
good.
go with no brown sugar oatmeal with some extra sugar in there. Just saying. But yeah, those are pretty much our popular opinions of the episode. Leave a comment below if you have an unpopular opinion that you want to discuss. One thing that I just thought about, if you are watching or if you are a follower and you don't have that person that you can lean on, and well, one, if you go to Ball State and you don't have that person, there's so many orgs around here that cater to mental health, especially for minority people, especially black people. I am a part of one. I'm on the exec for one. Let's talk about it. We are having our last event Thursday, so kind of shouting us out a little too late. But there's also, there's a lot more. There's also org zone on campus that can help you with your faith and your relationship with God. We have Impact and Pinky Promise. So so if you are on Ball State campus and you're watching this and you needed to hear that, or that's what you need, those are just some resources there. But as always, our DMs are open. If you want to do a little anonymous. Okay, I'm saying unanimous.
Sorry.
Anonymous. If you think our advice helped you just from you watching this episode and you dealing with some similar stuff or something that's different, and you feel like we can help you, then don't be afraid to reach out to our on our Instagram. I promise you that we do get in our moods to where we don't like to talk to people. But if you are comfortable with us knowing your business, then we do. Oh my gosh.
It's all right.
We do not judge over here. I can't talk.
It's all right. One thing for sure, another thing for certain, we enjoy and we emphasize the environment that we create for other people, especially when it comes to confiding in one of us or just letting it all out there. Like we are here to listen, and that's really number one. We're here to listen. And then if you want advice, we're more than happy to give some to you.
Facts.
100% safe environment. So,
And I will say that if you're looking for the nice version, go to him. Because I'm not going to be nice. I'm going to tell you the truth. And, sometimes the truth hurts. And that's just what it's going to have to be. But, DM us on our Instagram. We don't have TikTok, but DM us on our Instagram. We may put a little question box on our story, just in case that you have something to say. If you have anything interesting topics that you want to see us talk about or anything like that, you can DM us about that. If there's any of you watching that will want to make appearance on here, you can DM us about that too. I promise you we don't bite. This is a little unordinary or unusual for our podcast, but it is an episode that needed to be had, and I'm sure more of these will be coming very soon. So stay tuned. We appreciate y'all for watching. Once again, I'm Thick and he's
Thin,
and I'm D and he's
B,
and we out here. Peace.
Yes, sir.